Hi, welcome to another episode of We Hate Skill Windows, a podcast hosted by me. And
Hey, Chris.
there's always such a long delay. Maybe I should try to rehearse this. Shit. Uh, at this point, you probably know who we are. It's fine. But if you don't, we review webcomics and we tell you that it's trash, and that there's only one true god, and it's called the Lazy Lord Masters of the Lazy Sword. Uh, and that's about it.
What do you
And apparently
mean?
everything else is trash according to
What do you...
I'll speak my truth,
No,
revering in
okay.
silence in this podcast. so today we're reviewing Worn and Torn Newbie. Also, this model for some reason is not detecting my Asian eyes apparently, so it's gonna just close my eyes all the time. Fuck. But um, I think personally, I think this one deserves a 10 out of 10 out of 10. But I'm apparently here to get proven wrong again. So
What?
let's talk about it. So Worn and Torn Newbie, to preface this and sort of explain it in a general sense, it is about a. I don't enjoy the base premise that much. I like the world that they've built, in the virtual reality thing game, but I don't actually enjoy the setting of the game IRL. Basically, it's a guy who wasted away 15 years on say the equivalent of Lost Ark or Black Desert Online or even maybe Maple Story or something, uh in our society. And he's spent so long playing this game that he's one of the remaining last people, and he's borrowed real money. He's in debt, and he requires to get out of debt by selling weapon collateral, that he bets on plus nining a weapon, but it fails. And then he wakes up 15 years ago. Yeah, that's probably the only part where I'm like, huh? How'd you time travel back by what, suffering a heart attack? Maybe, but it's not really explained. He just sort of goes back and he wakes up. It's like, oh wait, I'm 15 again, or whatever. And instead of say, if you went back 15 years in the future, I don't know what you would do, like buy lottery tickets or maybe try to benefit off crypto or something before it's too late. No, this man decides, well, shit, I'm gonna just play the game, the same game I played for 15 years, but I'm gonna play it again and do it better. And that's about it. Uh, I like it, and I guess I'll go into my section of why I like things. So, I like it because I like the story that the author has created with the world. The world feels organic. It doesn't feel like a game world, to be fair. It is one of those plot lines where it's like, oh, we're in a VR world, and the VR world game world system. This one's called Deus Ex Machina, I guess, or DEM for sure, as the character novels talk about it. So in this one, it's like one of those where it's like it's run by a large company, but with the central core AI that will evolve according to the user's playstyles, and therefore B patches itself rather than having any manual patches by anyone else, and it's perfect, and we can't interfere as the game company. We're just here to watch, even if it destroys the fuck out of everything. That's the one thing where it's like, you know, these people have never feasibly thought about developing a game. I feel like
Yeah.
can you imagine the fucking outrage if every game was like this? If Apex was like, oh, we've left it to our AI, our respawn AI, where we just input character ideas and just poofs out random shit. We're introducing our new character who can shoot grapple hooks into the sky, and if the or maybe Lost Ark. I don't know. Lost Ark's too weird in our systems. Maybe Path of Exile or something. Had an AI that was generating more gems or something, and they just let it happen to the point where something stupid could happen, and the AI would just be like, "Yeah, sure, we'll allow it." It just doesn't make that much sense, I guess.
Yeah, the realism. I mean, I feel like I'm never too bothered by the realism aspect. But I agree, yeah. True.
Okay, this might be
These
better.
games will not last that long.
Okay, we'll just shut off our blinking mechanism for this model. It's clearly not working very well. But now I just look like I'm falling asleep half the time. Wonderful. I'll fix the model later. We'll just have to deal with it. But essentially, actually no, I can fix this live in real time, which is very sloppy of me, but don't worry about it. I can do this surely. I'll just use this one. Surely this one won't bug out. No, the eyes are definitely fucked as well. Whatever. It is what it is. But anyhow, this one has what I believe are likable characters. Whether or not that's true, I guess that's up to interpretation. Uh,
Likeable, I agree.
oh, you do?
Yeah, I mean, they're likable.
Okay, all right. And then the art is good. The art is very good. Arguably some of the best that I've seen in terms of having unique characters, unique bosses, and pretty unique weapon types as well. I enjoy it. What did you dislike about it?
What did I just like
To
about?
ask why this wouldn't be a 10 out of 10 out of 10.
Uh, well, uh, I kind of, I guess I'm just not the biggest fan of like these stories where there's no real true like main story plot line. It's kind of just like you're watching the character do a bunch of OP crap over and over again. Things are just kind of happening.
Wait. So you don't like it when. Wait. But. So what would make this better than in this case? Like, what do you want to
Uh,
see that would make it better?
I kind of want to see like I guess arcs or like structure like story arcs instead of kind of just like these various fight scenes, these various tiny
But you see
bits
quest
of
arcs.
info.
uh.
Oh, I guess it's not really because it's not really driven by like an overarching story, an overarching goal. I guess these are more just like I don't know mini-sodes.
I mean, so in terms of what I take away from it, it's just him progressing through the game. He logs on every day, he gets more progress done. I like
Yeah.
what do you want to see, like him improving in real life? Or like
I don't like have an expectation of how the story should be, but like I guess I'm not the biggest fan of just like him just kind of going around doing things.
okay, I'll ask this in hopefully an understandable way. Is it because he's like really never really foiled by anything?
I don't really care. I
Like is
mean,
it the fact that like no one can really technically ever really stop him?
that's not
That's the
really my
issue?
issue with that.
No? I thought that would be.
No. I mean that
I feel like that sort of fell into line with the Mary Sue definition that you gave last week. Because, like,
I don't think he's that much of a race actually.
oh, well, maybe I just don't understand the definition of a Mary Sue.
I mean he is busted in OP, but it's
He's
more
really
like
OP. People don't really like him. Okay, maybe. Maybe.
uh,
Well, yeah.
yeah.
People like parts of him, the pro side of him.
He's a little bit closer to Luigi in this respect. Uh, but I don't find him as funny as Luigi, I guess. So seeing him just kind of go on a rampage everywhere wasn't as entertaining,
I
I
feel like I
guess.
like it because he's just genuine in a way.
I agree with that. He's he's very true to something, to his greediness.
Yeah. I like I feel like he doesn't have to be I okay, how to put it? I feel like he doesn't have to be like Luigi, which is a different thing too. Like he'd have to be PKing like in the game, I guess,
Yeah,
which
I'm
doesn't.
not saying Luigi's the best way to implement like that type of character, but like Luigi was funny at least.
But this one's funny too. Wait, but this one's.
I don't find it that entertaining. I don't know. I don't find it that comedic.
I could list so many moments where it's funny. Oh, it's got good faces. I thought we used to discuss about how the good faces meant good comedy.
I agree. There are times I like his like shit eating like yes, this way, Mr. Patron there right before he like attempts to kill everybody.
Uh, I don't know. Maybe I can't tell. Have I just read enough shit that I like settle for shit, or have I just read enough that I think that this is top? Hmm. I really can't tell.
I mean, all the characters I think okay, no. All the main characters, I think, they've got like quirky little personality, or not quirky. They've got like neat little personalities. And they're nice to see do stuff. And it's like fun, but uh, uh, it's not like I guess anything like deeply interesting. I'm not sure how to put it. Like there really is no story. They really are just kind of just going around rampaging. So it's just like the day-to-day interactions between Mr. Frank, what's his name?
What,
Uh
stagnant water?
yeah.
I I mean, okay, here's a question then. Do you like Gintama? I'm not comparing the two directly, but it feels
Yeah.
similar, right?
I agree, yeah.
I feel like no, it doesn't have to have an overarching like storyline. I
It
mean,
it does.
then
Yeah,
again,
there's a lot
like
of
I'm a fan of stupid absurdist shit. Did you ever watch Senju? Senju with two U's.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
how it's like technically about a hero defeating the demon lord, but it's
Yeah,
not
well, it's like
really.
it just goes off the rails.
It's off the rails, and every episode they just talk about the plot and how the storyline is no longer following the plot. It's like
Yeah.
that ish.
Or
Where
I don't
I
know
don't know.
that, but yeah.
No, Senyu's a weird case actually, because on the third episode you find out that the demon lord's just like here, and then it just evolves. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
I
does it
think
have to
Gintama's pretty
have
apt.
like a storyline?
It
Like, I
doesn't
will say,
have like there are
Gintama's not my
plenty of
favorite thing ever. Gintama's very crude actually. Uh, the humor in it is
I
very toilet humor sometimes, and I don't enjoy that. But like, I feel like it's sort of like a weird action slice of life. Where yes, there's like fights happening most of the
yeah.
time, even in Gintama. For some reason, they just get into conflict with other characters, but like, it's weirdly entertaining sometimes. I don't know,
Yeah,
and
no,
then
like
sometimes they're just
Luigi's the
like,
same way.
wait a minute, Are you sure?
Yeah, Luigi like doesn't really have a
That was not
story
a
either.
slice of life. That,
Yeah, that's true.
no, that's called I massacre
Luigi's
everyone who touches me. That should have been the more apt title instead of Immortal Emperor. No, it's I kill anyone who touches me like that.
I find Luigi very, I don't know, funny. And I think if I'm going to go through some of these like episodic shows or webtoons, like I feel like it has to draw me in somehow besides the episodicness of it. Like it has to be either really funny or maybe it has to be like a really cute, like
What about just
wholesome
having good
show.
characters? It's got characters you can cheer for, I feel.
I
And they're
agree,
like
yeah.
human feeling. Like the one
I
arc
yeah.
with the like villain girl, technically not really villain anymore, and her sister. Like they're human, it feels. I feel like the artist at least permeates that wall where a lot of other webcomic or manhwa artists fall, which is just they get to the point where it's like, I am a one dimensional character. I exist to fight you, and I will never change. But like
Yeah,
they actually
I
go
agree
into
with
her
that.
backstory and explain why she was the way she was in the past life even. I don't know. I feel like it's redeeming in that way. And then once again, it's gonna be the like the third or fourth time I mentioned Denma. Uh, I like it when a story connects together. Now, granted, this one is more so in the category of I rated this dungeon because I knew I would need this item 60 chapters later, which is not as funny because then you realize, well, shit, that's not the author tying stuff together. That's the author tying stuff together for convenience sakes, uh, because the character is supposed to know everything. But usually, I feel like it's more fun when like characters can, uh, when they can like talk about a thing, they go do it, and then X amount of chapters later, it turns out that whatever they did either had a butterfly effect on what happened later, or it actually impacted something that they'll do later. I don't know. In the Returner ones, it's weird because this one's very hard into that like aspect where our main character is Stagnant Water here. I forget his real name. It's fine. It doesn't really matter. I don't think, but he is like very much so playing to get all the OP shit from his past life before everyone else can. And this is
Yeah.
also a game where, as game does, we could probably say that it would be really
Really
fucking hard to
simple.
do because for some reason it's one of those where it's like you have entered a dungeon. You are the first one to enter this dungeon. Please put your name here. You ever since you've entered this dungeon, no one
Yeah.
else can claim the rewards from inside. Like that. Do you understand how hard that would be?
Yeah,
And this
you can
can't
run out of
possibly be the
content
only
so quickly.
server, right? But they act like this is
Yeah.
the only server for the game that exists. Because otherwise, there's no way Stagnant Water can be the first person to claim everything. Like, yeah, sure, he could probably claim like everything within what he knows, but if everyone in the world is playing on this server, there's not a fucking chance he's the first one to enter all these things. And then if he is not playing on the only server in the world, that means he is not the first person to obtain these things. Unless in this world people just don't play games that good or something, but that's not the case. They're literally in Korea. Korea is like known for having really fucking good gamers. There's no way if Faker was in this world, which oh man, we should review the one speaking of where they literally have Faker as a character.
The thing.
Yes, I'll recommend it the next time I have a turn. It's if I can find it. It's like the one it's another VR AR.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's another one of those. If I can find actually maybe I can path through it through Worn and Torn Newbie maybe. Uh actually no, maybe I can just look at my bookmarks in Asura. Yeah. Hold on. I'll find it real quick here. Don't you worry. It had a pretty cool like art style and story, but it's I think currently on break, which is fair. So it is what it is now. Did I save it? Or did I just ignore it? Or did I not bookmark it? I might not have bookmarked it. How do I look for it? How do you look for something that's like not actually that good, but just has Faker as a character? Adventure. No, that's way too fucking broad. Are you kidding me? It might be here anyway. I wonder what it was called. Let me just type in Faker? No. Let me type in Faker and search? No. Damn. What was it? I don't know. I can't find it right now. That's fine. Essentially, there's one where a guy goes into an academy and he's here to like learn how to be an esports player for a VR game similar to like Sword Art essentially. But his coach, his recruiter, I guess, is this man who wears like a mask, and his moniker in the game is the Unbeatable Demon King, I think, which I'm pretty sure is Faker's title. Unkillable Demon King. And then for some reason, the plotline unveils that like the academy professors are trying to like strike down society and break like the chains of the academy or something. And turns out Faker is the last pissed off before they can take over. It's very dumb. Yeah, I don't know. That one's not that good. It's just more so the fun reveal of, oh wait, Faker, that pro League of Legends player, is in this webcomic, but they probably didn't ask for permission and probably just like took his likeliness. Like for all we know, it could be a mistranslation, but man, I'll be damned, it looks like Faker if he like grew a beard and got older. So yeah, I don't know. If I find it, I'll find it and I'll link it to you. But let's review the thing. All right. Art wise. What would you say? I feel like I always go first in this category, but you want to go first?
I'll give it a 9.
A 9. Very good. And I'll be giving it a 10. I personally really like this art style. It's like simple when it needs to be, but like all the monsters in it feel cool. Like if this was actually a game
Yeah.
idea and they had these type of monsters, or even like trolls and like I don't know if they portray like goblins, but like they're all cool. Like they're not like super basic random shitters. Like a lot of the other ones that you'll see, in terms of the power fantasy genre and like the game trapped in a game slash I'm just playing a VR game, blah blah blah. But I'm like faster than people in my synchro rate or whatever, and like any other shit that they pull, also known as like I think that's the thing is like if my life was a game or whatever that one is in my game life in my past, I don't know. There's a few of them where they enter a game world, whether it's like that they can leave or not, but they like enter the world, they just do quests and like it helps them in some way. And in almost all of them, oh, I went into a dungeon. These are skeletons. I killed the skeletons. These are goblins. I've killed the goblins. And everything looks so fucking nothing. It's not unique. It's not cool. It's just, you can tell that this, like, you can tell that the artists were, like, told to just draw, like, regular ass shit. But, like, I don't know. These monsters look interesting. In particular, you know, did you read to the point? Did you read all of it? Or
No.
most of it? How
for
far'd you get?
most of it. 40.
Oh, wow. You've missed a lot. I'm at 110. But probably around like 80, 90 or something, there's a quest line that he goes through, where he meets the spirit. And the spirit is like the personification of the AI that maintains the quest system. So essentially like the tome or like the like book of collectors or whatever, like from other games, like the collections tab or like grimoire or whatever it would be called in like other games where it's just like the encyclopedia of all the things that you've seen.
Yeah.
And this thing shows up as like a little, it's like a Sealy from Genshin.
Oh.
But once you complete the quest, which the quest is to restore like a bunch of land that got disrupted. But once they restore the land, you see it again, and it's become this fucking like insane looking like Titan thing. Here, let me find it actually. If I'm talking about it, but I can't like back up what I'm saying, I guess. It legitimately looks really cool. And I was like, oh my god, like I've never seen such a cool design before. Um, oh, nope. I went a bit too far back, I think. Where is
I
this?
really liked the design for the Gorgon in both of her forms.
Oh, yeah, by the
That
way,
was really
yeah,
impressive.
we should have more like we should have more statue-based enemies in games. It's cool. Like you know
Ooh.
how like the crying Galatnia or whatever it was in the
Yeah,
earlier
yeah,
chapters,
her.
and like just like obviously this would be a shit mechanic to have as a boss. In fact, maybe Final Fantasy has something like that. We could ask. Uh,
Yeah, it does.
where like I'm assuming it has to like
You have to be
uh
facing away from it,
yeah,
yeah.
but like man, VR if it ever gets to that state, it'd be cool. I don't think it would. I don't believe it would, but it would be cool if it gets to the point where you can actually have like all of this stuff. Uh, here I'll link this chapter so you can look at what I'm like talking about. This is chapter 99 for anyone listening as well. I put it in the chat of the call. But if you scroll down, Chris, once you read that chapter, in like the
Yeah.
second panel where it says "Bye bye stagnant water," and you look down, that's what the like little like Sealy turned into as its like true form. And I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Ooh.
But it looks neat. And like, I don't even know if they just decided to draw this thing as cool as it was, but it was like a cool moment. I don't know. I liked it. I don't know. I like it. I like the
Yeah.
art. The art is like both simple and like just I feel like
It
it would be
draws all
nice
the
to
people
read.
very yeah.
Or not read. I feel like it'd be nice of a game to play. Like if this was a real game,
Yeah.
it'd be like man, I so maybe
Pull up
Lost
your
Ark did
OP.
do this as well. I would say Lost Ark did a good job with this. But I will perhaps never forget Guild Wars 2 Vistas.
Oh.
And I don't know why it was Guild Wars 2, probably because that was the first like major MMO I played with friends. But something about like parkouring your way up to this like vista that like oversaw probably not even a very cool thing, but it was like really neat to do. I don't know. It was really nice. I know Genshin has them too, and like the every major game seems to have them now, but there's something about like Guild Wars 2 that was actually just so magical. Besides the like pay to win, but uh, yeah, I just wanted to have a pet, you know, in that game, and they were like, "Oh,
Yeah.
you can have a pet, but it'll expire after like 90 days."
A
It's
Maple
like,
Story?
no, Guild Wars 2. Guild
Oh.
Wars 2 was like, "Oh, here's like a complimentary mount and a complimentary pet, but they expire after like 30 days." And it's like, what's the point? Like, do I just equip them? And then you go to the beginner village, everyone has it equipped, and you're like, okay, so I'm not special. like,
Ugh.
like, what's the point? Even Maple Story. Well, Maple Story got them for free, right? Technically, but it was like the base pet that you had to like grind for.
It
I
only
don't know.
lasted for like 30 days too, yeah.
Oh, did it? Did we all pay money in Maple
Yeah.
Story? I forgot. Or did we just not play more than a month? Honestly,
I
I
thought
don't
we played it
remember.
for a couple months
I feel
actually.
like we
But we
did.
changed servers. We changed
We
servers to the
did. We
one.
changed from the one like
Okay, yeah.
not legacy server to the legacy server. And I think
Yeah,
the
yeah.
legacy server we just were able to keep it, but I don't remember. Maybe it was the fact that we just like changed a bunch of characters because we made a bunch of characters, all of us, to do like the set bonus thing.
Yeah.
What? Oh
Yeah.
man, sometimes I
Right,
think about
yeah.
reinstalling MapleStory, but then I recall that that all the classes I played weren't like particularly meta and they weren't that strong. I have to play like, was it Kana or like the OP
Oh
shit?
yeah.
Whatever, the one with like the numerous like flying blades or whatever. Instead, I played
Oh,
like psychic psychic guy whose story was literally about being isekai'd.
kind of funny.
But yeah, Maple Story. Oh man, what if Maple Story 3D was still around? But anyhow, it looks like a game I would play if I had a lot of time on my hands. Man, League of Legends, come out with your MMO already. I want to play that
Oh
shit.
my god. I read an article that was like, yeah, it's probably
uh,
taken 2 more years to come out. I'm like, why did you talk about it now then? God dang it.
to drum up the hype. I don't know. Oh man,
Uh,
did you hear they're making a
uh,
Harry Potter MMO? It looks like something I would not play. Uh,
yeah, fair enough.
Personally, I've just yeah. First of all, there's a lot of controversy right now where uh, I guess it's like because so I understand why, but it's also a weird one. So like a lot of people are boycotting the game already. It's not out yet. It's supposed to come out like February 2023. But apparently because of the fact that J.K. Rowling will get royalties from this game in some way or another, uh, playing the game could be seen as supporting J.K. Rowling. But because J.K. Rowling has said some very problematic uh, transphobic things in the past, people are now basically saying if you play this game, you're supporting transphobia. But I don't think that's quite true. I feel like if you're just playing a game, you're just playing a game. And maybe if you want to stream
Yeah.
the game, you just want to stream the game. But like, I don't know. Man, being on Twitter more than I used to be, because I feel like the VTuber sphere really just thrives on Twitter, makes me realize that like VTubers are not really the most accepting of things. Like, I understand that like playing the game will go against some people's enjoyment, but you don't have to watch it. Like, if someone wants to play a game because they want to play a game, and yes, the developers might be shit or something, but like the game itself did nothing wrong. Like, people spent a lot of years making this game. If the game itself is somehow fun, don't shit on their fun by saying you're supporting a transphobic author. Because yes, while playing the game might support this, like, the game devs who made the game are the ones who will inherently receive more credit for making a good game. J.K. Rowling will receive credit because it's got the IP on it. This is unavoidable, unfortunately. Like, you know, even if League of Legends, with its also like lawsuits about just being fucked to the like women in like minorities in gaming like workspace. But if you boycott League, it's not gonna like stop anything. I feel I don't know. Maybe my opinion is invalid for that. Uh, I feel like if you want to like try out the game, you shouldn't get like crucified for wanting to try out the game. Like maybe you like Harry Potter, cool. Like I feel like you shouldn't be forced to like unlike something just because the author's shit. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about this. Maybe I'm not liberal enough to understand. But I feel like I have the ability to talk about it and shit on it because I feel like they're going too far. Regardless, it's not anything about this. This was just a side tangent. About the story. Oh boy, time to go back on track. So the story of this one, I think it's, uh, you brought up some valid points. I can't really disagree with them. I sort of wish I could, but it is sort of scattered. Fuck. Hmm.
It doesn't have that much drama,
I
but
I almost
it's
like
so
it
like,
more.
fun.
So, so I'm gonna pull up something else that I don't think you really enjoyed reading. Overgeared, right?
I
Uh,
only read like 100 chapters of that, so
yeah. Well, it's another one where it gets good around 300 chapters in. Oh, it's like all the people like. Oh.
yeah.
Yeah. You just have to keep reading, and then what? You like Stockholm yourself into liking the characters. Yeah, and yeah. Uh, So in Overgeared, the story is like also similarly sort of shit because in the early chapters, at least, all he's doing is like making weapons. That's all he fucking does. It's actually very boring. Like it's just him going on quests, and the quests allow him to make better weapons. And then he makes the weapon and describes it for a chapter and a half. Uh, and then he uses the stronger weapon to make a stronger weapon. And that's like all he does for like a good amount of chapters. But then you get into the politics, and then you get into like him competing in tournaments, and you get into like like a world war in the VR world or whatever in the game world. So it gets more interesting. But like you don't know about that. Uh, if we're judging it based purely on like begin beginner reading this, it's probably not that interesting. I can't deny that much. 40 chapters in, you don't even get to the arc I was talking about with like the girl, the like what's her name even?
Yeah, the twin, one of the twins, or brother and sister loan shark combo.
Yeah, one of them. She's like the main like antagonist in a way if you don't count
She's
stagnant
like
water as the antagonist and her as really a protagonist. Like
I don't know if she's like a antagonist. She's more like a
Durantag
gag character
tagalist,
for
whatever
a
it's called.
bit.
She shows up a lot. Don't worry, even all these chapters
Yeah.
later, she's still showing up. So she's somewhat relevant. But like in like chapters 80 and 90, like you get to learn about like she has a younger sister, her younger sister is blind. It's very similar to like Joey Wheeler's story from original Yu-Gi-Oh! Where he's just trying to pay for the surgery. But they pay for the surgery by doing loan shark activities, and like apparently the brother feels a lot of guilt. And they feel human. And it's nice. Because god damn it, there's not that many stories that can actually portray like actual emotion. Man, Lowo Ji had like somewhat human characters, i.e., like I guess his mom, but even she's blinded by the fact that her son's doing like evil fucking shit, and she's like, "Oh, my dear baby boy, you must be tired. Let me pour you a drink of wine." Like, I Chinese parents, am I right? However incredibly untrue that is. I'm gonna give the story. I'll give it a 7. I'm giving it a 7, which is still I feel like pretty high, but I like it because it's got so okay. Theoretically, if there was enough budget to fucking okay, you'll probably agree with me if I try to explain this, right? Like in these sort of like game world type uh experience webcomic or manhwas, it seems like these game devs build their world wide instead of tall, right? Like they build it as if it's like a D&D campaign
Yeah.
that can just unfold in real time without any like user input,
Yeah.
right? Like they make like a bunch of dungeons, and then apparently each dungeon has like 15 subquests after it. This is not gonna fly in a real game. You're not gonna spend like 60 hours making one quest line and then not even really testing it because you don't have time anymore, and then you can move on to the next dungeon. You make 700 like you're not gonna do that. But for some reason in this one, oh, I completed the first quest 16 times. This allows me to access this quest that can only be done once the first quest is done 16 times. Like, people don't do this. People would not do this It would take a very dedicated game dev to do something like this. And even so, they might do like a Easter egg here, and that's it. Like, you're not gonna have the budget to do this unless somehow this is like a this is like Elon Musk's child, and I don't mean his literal children. I just mean like his figurative child or something. Like, you need to have near infinite budget to throw into having the AI generate your procedural events. The AI generates your quest lines. That's so much trust. Anyhow, what would you give the story?
I'll give it a 6.
Damn, how dare you? I love this thing, you know? It's like my child. No, that's not true. The Lazy Lord's a much better child. I'll throw away this one in favor of the Lazy Lord. Oh yeah, did you see the latest chapter?
Lazy Lord?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Oh, you should read it. Ruru transforms.
Oh, I loved last chapter where you got to see Ruru a bunch of times. It was so cute.
Or you got
Uh,
yeah, any chapter yeah, man. They just do a spin-off and it's just like Ruru's adventures. That'd be just I just want to see the cat. Funny cat, cute cat, mascot. Ah, cute things. You need mascots nowadays. Worn and Torn Newbie, do they have a mascot? They don't really have a mascot. Stagnant
uh,
water. He's naked. He's the mascot. Yeah, that doesn't help. Ah.
I hate that plot point so much.
No,
It's
yeah,
naked because it slows me down. I have to.
by not wearing clothing, I get arrested for public indecency in public. Did you get to the chapter where you like actually wore no clothing in real life and got arrested?
No.
Oh, yeah. He got so used to being stagnant water in the game that he like went for a drive in his like Corvette and put the sunroof down and was just like naked. And then the next scene is him at the police station having to file a report saying, "I will not do this again." So old habits die hard, I guess.
Ugh.
But characters wise, I feel like the characters are fun. I don't think they have to be that like complex. I feel like as long as
Yeah.
they're like human, I enjoy them at least. You probably have a bit of more different criteria for it. Like for me, characters wise, like yes, true. You are correct about like how to put it like uh I don't know if you agree with me on this actually, but so I'll say this point and then I guess let me know if you agree or not. But I think Hardcore Leveling Warrior was one where they did a large cast of characters, but they all sort of were like memorable and all like contributed in a way. I don't know because I
The
don't think you actually did you finish Hardcore Leveling Warrior?
Up before it closed down now.
Ah. Well, okay, so like in Hardcore Leveling Warrior, right? There's like obviously Hardcore Leveling Warrior, and then there's like
Yeah.
Heart Heater, there's Dark, there's Sora. That's the main party, and then there's
Yeah.
like uh, what was his name? Fuck, I blank on the names, but like wasn't it like Yuffie or something?
What's the name of this?
I don't know. It was like this guy. It was like the guy with like emo black hair who was like the king of a kingdom, and then he attack and like his group
Oh, the
slime
smiley
and
person. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
like there was that group, and then there was like the gods, and they were all sort of memorable as well. I don't know. I feel like Hardcore Leveling Warrior, essentially what I'm trying to get at is like Hardcore Leveling Warrior probably had like 20 to 30 main or not main characters, I guess, like 20 to 30
Relevant.
memorable characters. Yeah, like
Yeah.
they were sort of relevant to the plot. They showed up every so often. When you saw them again, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, is that character?" In this, aside from Drake, Stagnant Water, his alter ego, his pro alter ego, whatever, it's the same person really. The girl, the brother, that
The stream or the pro player Tobias? No.
Wait, Tobias?
No, not Tobias.
Wait,
I
which
spit
one?
out random name. The pro player.
The
The
pro
what the,
player. Wait, like his alter ego pro player or
no,
no?
the one with the sister who's
The
like
one
in
with
the
the sister.
hospital.
Wait, what? There's a pro player with a wait, what?
Like
Am
in
I?
the beginning, like Ma Sang Ta.
Oh
Ma
yeah,
Sang Te.
Mate,
Ma Te,
Mate
yeah.
Tong or some. Ah
Peng Sang
man.
Ma Ta. That's not
Well,
that.
yeah, watch us butcher Korean names for a second. Yeah, that guy.
Uh,
Wait, he has a sick sister? Oh
yeah, it's in
shit, that's so sad.
P120.
Oh, I just thought he liked to fight people. Oh, damn. You know, you remember him more than I do.
I just read it like yeah.
uh, I guess, but he doesn't really show. He's shown up like 3 times, aside from like the pro scene bit, because he obviously has to show up.
Yeah.
Like in the storyline, he doesn't really show up much. Zodiac, that guy, he shows up like twice. I've seen him like 3 times. He's not that important. Still.
Mm,
Uh, and then like aside from that, there's like no real other characters.
characters.
Like yeah, there's
Everyone
the
else is just a one-dimensional
NPCs.
crap.
There's like the guild members, but they don't care. They don't matter. They really don't matter. Like if you
Yeah.
saw them appear again, you'd be like, "Oh, it's that guy from that chapter, that useless piece of shit fodder character." So in that way, yes, it does sort of like doesn't have that much memorable characters. Um, whether or not that detracts it though, I don't know. I like the characters, but I shouldn't just like. I really shouldn't just be reviewing based on I like this. I'm gonna give it a 10. The characters are
All of the
strong,
characters.
but there are few of them. And yeah, to be entirely honest, stagnant water is not that cool. He's why is he naked? uh the best question of them all. Why the fuck he naked?
In the
Uh
early chapters, it's he said that all the gear was crap anyway, so you might as well just not might as well
well
sell it or something.
yeah, no, yeah, in the early chapters his thought process was legitimately, yeah, all the early gear is better sold. I don't need the gear to protect me because I can predict the patterns with my eyes closed. That was his thought process. And then like somehow it became a meta. And now he just talks about his stagnant water meta. But you're at chapter 40. Surely at chapter 40 he's gotten that like weird like
Black thing around him with
yeah.
body paint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's not body paint. It's like a gimp suit.
The heart of something something.
Heart of the Depraved,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
It
Heart of the
like
Basilisk.
oh yes, the basilisk. Yeah. I don't know. He's no longer naked. He's just like wearing like like one of those
Bodies.
bodysuit things that you'd wear on Halloween so you could like slip into a weird cosplay and like not expose anything. Yeah, he's wearing one of those. But like 24/7. Uh man. I just like it when I don't know. It feels like One Piece. That's probably the worst comparison I can make. One Piece doesn't have a hugely unified plot, I would argue. They just sort of go around. They do have
Do
arcs though.
stuff,
This one
yeah.
doesn't have arcs for the most part.
It's got really short arcs, I guess.
It's got the
They don't
Procene arc.
sound
The
very
Procene arc was
deep.
nice. I like the Procene bit.
Yeah.
Actually, I really liked this one for the Procene bit. Him in the game doesn't actually feel that cool. Him playing the Procene feels really cool. I don't know why. It reminds me of like when I actually followed like LCS and like legitimately tried to follow teams and like their opponents and like the lore and shit. Man, such sadder times. I'll give it an 8. I'll stop contemplating too hard. What is your
Well,
score? What will you rate it?
I mean, they're not garbage characters. Uh,
So he's like, oh, they're not bad. They're not great. I'll give it a 4.
nah,
uh,
I'll give them a.
you don't have to feel pressure to give it high. I'm already giving it probably the highest it'll receive.
I mean, I legitimately don't hate them. Like some of these main characters make me want to like hit my head against the wall. This one doesn't. uh,
Speaking of hitting your head against the wall, I completely dropped SSS class Gotcha Hunter. I I don't know about you, but that art has been getting progressively grainier and worse to look at. I don't know what the fuck they're doing with like either just the raw scans or like really low quality or something, but like it's getting so pixelated. And also the storyline is not that interesting anymore. It's just him getting OP through the power of Gotcha. And
yeah, he's not a
you
very interesting main character.
you can't possibly keep getting this fucking lucky. You can't. I understand you have luck boosting items, but fuck you. Like, I listen. I could pray to Buddha. I could stand in a special spot in my home, and I could spin the gacha on Neural Cloud and still get fucking no whatever that character is
Kuro,
that you're supposed to get. Which one?
Kuro, yeah, I don't have
Kuro.
Kuro yet
Yeah, you got
either.
Kuro yet?
No, I'm thinking about re-rolling or some crap. I don't know.
Wait, did you get Hubble?
No.
Oh, so I did the thing where
I,
I got like the guarantee out of both of the banners. I'm pretty sure it's still there for new players. It might be. I don't know. Did you get to
I
the
have a
gacha
gar-
part?
yeah, I have a choice between like 10 characters, but neither I don't have a choice of Aki or Hubble.
Oh, that one. Yes, I picked a healer. I don't know if you have to pick a healer or like picking a healer is good or not. I just picked the healer that people said would be good.
Yin,
I don't know.
Akio, I don't know, who knows.
I don't
Whatever.
know. Okay, what
Gotcha,
would you give the
Gotcha Hunter is
characters?
bad. I'll give the characters a
Hey.
7.
All right. Time for another high scorer, maybe. Oh man, math. What is math? So that is a 9.5 plus a 6.5. 9.5 plus 6.5 would be 16. 16 plus 7.5 would be 23.5. Mental math be damned. I can't do division though, so I'll have to look that up. Fuck, maybe I'm just skewing our scores too high. Did this look familiar? I can't help but think I'm pretty sure we straight up hit that on our last one. I feel like we did.
When we give an insanely high art score, it just
It usually does well. But also hold on, let me scroll through my last time one. Omniscient Reader received a 7.83. Oh, it was the R score. Oh, it was the R score. Hi, this is right. Oh shit. Let's not bleed into the other audio. What about this one? I'm the fated villain. Okay, this one was definitely lower. No, that was a 5 out of 10. Okay. Maybe not everything was that high. Ah, man. Okay, same as Omniscient Reader then. I'm happy with that. I like this one. I would argue, if you want to read, okay, if you're like me and you really like reading, and you just don't really care what you're reading as long as it's like decent, this is good. This is not like a trash one. Like I've read trash before. I read The Lone Spellcaster all up to like
you did not. You
I
did
did I
not.
did. I did. I did. No, I did. So I read it to the point where I was like, okay, I really don't like this anymore. And then I stopped. But I definitely read like really far into it. I read that. I remember reading The Gamer up until like really far in as well. And then I was like, okay, now they're literally playing tower defense like in his home. This is getting really stupid. But I just really like reading to read. So I'll like I'll explore the dumb shit, even if it's like not that actually cool. But if you like decent dumb shit and not bad dumb shit, this is the good one. I would recommend it. All right. Well, it's been 54 minutes. Let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
What's your recommendation?
Ooh, okay. Um, I'll recommend. Maybe we should do another really. I don't. Let's do a really stupid. Let's do the
The lone
strongest
spellcaster.
forest.
No, not the lone spellcaster. The
No.
strongest florist. You wanna just have fun? Yeah, we can have fun. That one's not bad. It's just
A whack. It's
it's
actually it's
it's
too
more,
similar to this one. It's a little bit too similar to this one, actually.
but where he's just doing random shit.
Yeah.
Except that this one he really is doing random shit because he doesn't actually know the future. He just wants to make flowers bloom. We could like read a you could choose one from webtoons that isn't technically like a power fantasy. We could just broaden it to webtoons as well.
Oh, but that category has too much good stuff in it.
It does. I'm saying we could have good reviews of popular things, and people might actually like watch our videos more. No, that won't do.
Let's
Let's
review.
review like trash. Yeah.
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 Villain to kill.
Isn't that still good?
That's still pretty good, yeah.
It's really good. I'm down for
I
Villain to
like
Kill.
Villain to
Are
Kill.
we going off of Webtoons for Villain to Kill, or are we going off of Sura Villain to Kill?
Let's do a story.
More chapters?
Yeah.
Alright. I'll go and start that journey from the beginning then. And I will update this thing here so everyone knows what we're reading. This is Villain to Kill. Villain to Kill, as it would be, is gonna have blue text because that is... Oh god, it does not read at all. If it's blue, it does not show up. Hold on. Vibrant blue? Does vibrant blue show up? Yeah, it does. It looks horrible. I love it. But yeah, so this will be Villain to Kill. Villain to Kill. Well, actually, hold on. Let me not ruin the scores in the case people just skip to the end and see what the fuck we rated. But it'll be fun. Also, we're taking a break because it's holidays. We'll be back, what, next year? Probably?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, we'll be back sometime next year. Probably, maybe... Do you want to do the 3rd or do you want to do later? Give you a bit.
It's fun.
Okay, assuming we're available on the 3rd, the next episode will release on the 3rd. This one will still be recorded. Well, it's recorded today as of the 20th. It'll come out on the 26th, so we'll still have those coming out when they come out. But as always, thank you for whoever the fuck's out there watching, and we'll be back with more BS. Have a great rest of your year. Goodbye. Wait, do you have anything to say actually? Before I try to rush end the thing to not hit 59 minutes.
That's good.
Okay. Alright, we'll see you next year. Goodbye.